Well, as expected, people can't be held in their homes indefinitely and keep telling them, oh, another week, another 2 weeks, another 3 weeks. If you go out, you hate people, want people to die, and try to shame them into, I don't know, trying to live their lives. Well, we see this in Ocean City, Maryland, a very popular, not only tourist, but a local spot to hang out in Maryland proper. Boardwalk packed during Memorial Day weekend. So, there's a lot of pictures out there. A lot of people just saying, you know what? Not necessarily social distancing. At this point, I don't even want to say I don't agree with them, but what are we supposed to do? As long as you, I guess, wear a mask, but even then, there's some debate out there amongst some scientists saying that that doesn't really do much. It actually might hinder. I don't know. That's for you to decide and for you to research, but I personally, I have to wear one in the country that I live in. I have to go out and wear one because that's just the way it is. I'm a guest in the country, and I have to abide by the social norms and the rules and the laws of the country that I reside in. Simple as that. I mean, I'm not going to protest. No. What am I going to protest? Anyways, so in OC, Maryland, lifeguards were in the stands for the first time this season. The sun was out. People's guns were out. You know, muscles, not. Yeah. And if you were lucky enough, you could catch a wave. Chris Sexton from Baltimore, it was heaven. Hallelujah. I would think there would be not that many people, but it was more than I expected. Okay. His family enjoyed the ease of this Memorial Day weekend trip. We got here really quick. No traffic, went right through. But the pandemic was still on many minds. We actually booked this 2 weeks ago. We were just hoping for the best. We wanted to get away, let the kids have some fun, and not let this ruin such a big holiday. Exactly. These frickin' politicians and these experts and authoritative sources or forces, excuse me, I always want to tell you what to do, what's best. And what do? They're not wearing masks, not for the most part. Like this weekend, I think Trump went out golfing. Okay. Who cares? You know, and they're like, he had three other people with him, and they weren't wearing masks. And that's a personal decision. If he doesn't want to do it, he doesn't have to do it. Is there a law? No, there's not a law. Until there's a law passed by the Congress and the Senate and signed by the president, then you shouldn't have to wear one. Now, I get it. Should you wear one? Maybe, maybe not. But that's your decision. That should be left to a personal decision. What you can and can't do with your own body. What about my body, my choice? Yeah. Don't worry about that. Killing babies, that's cool. But you will wear a mask or else. But it's not law. Wear it or else. See, it's just, there's a hypocrisy, dare I say, on both sides of the political spectrum for the most part. I see it right here, right now. Anyways, she wasn't alone. I love the beach and spending time with my family, says Jersey native Victoria Frazier. We wanted to keep it a little more normal for the kids. Her fiancé, Kareem Robinson, called it a taste of normalcy. I mean, think about that. People are begging for normalcy. To go back to normal. Go back to what we're used to. And you got people out there in the media and the punditry, et cetera, all telling you how much of a bad person you are for wanting to go back to normal. How dare you want to go back to normal? I mean, for God's sakes. Anywho, says, I look at Ocean City, Maryland boardwalk this afternoon. The sunny weather brought out the people. Masks are encouraged, but not required. Thank you. Let's see if we can play it. As you can see, a lot of people out. And you know what's funny? Viruses, as far as I know, hate sunlight. detest it. Now, it doesn't mean you can't get it or a flu, virus, etc. But for the most part, viruses hate UV light, sunlight, UVA, UVB, sweat. They don't like they like nice little normal, colder environments where they can survive a little longer. Not too cold where they freeze and don't move, but cold enough to where they can be spread around. When you're in hot weather, But again, masks are encouraged, but not required. By mid-afternoon Saturday, the boardwalk was packed. Groups of 10 or more are prohibited by law, and masks are recommended, but not required. We have officers on horseback, foot patrol, and vehicle patrol. Great. Now we have the thin blue line out there telling people, you're 5 feet, 5 inches from... That's good. Wait, no, it's not good. No. Is that what we need? Hall monitors out there? No. People can self-govern themselves. Yeah, we'll work with that. Anyways, it says if we do see groups 10 or more, we remind them that it is a violation of the governor's order. Again, police, it's an order, not a frickin' law. How hard is that for you to frickin' understand? For God's sakes. An order is not a law. A law is a law. A law is not an order. Why? I'm not even a lawyer and I know this. Anyways, depending on the situation, we would determine what kind of action would be taken. And there it is. Like I've talked about in the previous videos where some sheriff's chiefs will say something like, for instance, will say, well, we're not going to abide by the governor's order. We don't intend to arrest anyone. Wow. What does that mean? Well, it means that they're not saying they're not going to do what the governor says, but they don't intend. They don't want to arrest anybody, but they will. That's the garbage, word salad they like to use. They just kind of go, we don't intend to, but we will. Anyways, she did not even immediately have available. What? She did not have immediately copy editors. What the hell? Let me read that again. She did not immediately have available. I wouldn't have wrote it that way. The number of citations that would have been issued since the beach and boardwalk reopened to the public 2 weeks ago. We do see a lot of voluntary compliance. Thank you. Can we just voluntarily comply without the cops trying to be goddamn hall monitors? Anyways, police remind that it is illegal to consume alcohol in public. Blah 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 blah. Should be legal. You know what kills viruses pretty good? Anyways, breaking. Despite the number of coronavirus cases in Maryland topping 45,000, number of people who are hospitalized due to coronavirus continues to decline. From the authoritative force, WJZ, CBS, Baltimore, Susan Wojcicki, I'm quoting from a authoritative force which you deemed was more better than me. Am I right? The Woj? Anyways, despite some crowds, regulars here say there are not as many people as typical on Memorial Day weekend. With 10 miles of beach here in Ocean City, there's room to spread out. As long as you keep your distance, we feel good. Oh, thank you, Karen Wallace. I'm glad we could hear that from you. Here in the Ozarks, in the middle of the country, at the Lake of the Ozarks during holiday weekend, it looked a lot like summer. Good. Docks throughout the Lake of the Ozarks shook as the wake of dozens of boats zipped through the water on Saturday, marking an unofficial start of summer. What a good way to social distance, being a boat out on the water. God forbid. You know what's funny? Is that people are going to complain about that. They're not social distancing. You're in a boat doing 50 miles an hour with a skier on the back, ripping through the water. How much more social distance can you get? Idiots. God dang, man. Oh, man. The reservoir filled with vacationers as locals and out-of-towners, staters got a hint of the temperatures in Missouri at the end of the May. Many folks made the trek to the tourist hotspot for Memorial Day weekend. They took a break from work, hoping to grab onto a sense of normalcy after the COVID-19 pandemic shut down large parts of the nation. Just in time, local restaurants and attractions were able to open for willing patrons. Those businesses have been preparing for expected holiday boom because they're business owners and they want to make money and continue on with their lives. They don't need governments to tell them what to do. They can figure it out themselves. But it's going to happen anyways. Aiming to make a profit after the pandemic affected their bottom lines. It's funny though, most businesses, big businesses, are in the black because that's all you can go to. Smaller businesses, which most likely the federal and state and local governments don't give two craps about, don't care. Whatever. You're in the red? Whatever. Locals like James McCann, a Missouri State student whose family has lived here in the area for 13 years, were pleased to see the influx of tourists. However, McCann said compared to some past peak vacation years, he thought fewer boats were on the water. So the Karens out there won't have to get so pissed off, but just wait, they will. It's interesting, McCann said. I'm just glad to see people are back down here because a lot of businesses are open for 3-4 months out of the year. They got to make their money somehow. Yeah. Jacob Bueller, who drove from KC Metro, said he's been coming down in recent months to explore the area. While he rode around the Lake of the Ozarks, he said that stuck to social distancing measures whenever he touched land. See, you don't need hall monitors, Karens, and police out there to tell you to do something that you should probably already be doing and not be forced by government orders, which are not laws, by the way. It's been busy, Bueller said. It doesn't seem like the lake has slowed down as much as far as boat traffic and stuff like that. Obviously, the restaurants were all shut down. Lots of people are coming down here, I think, because schools and sports, everything's been closed, so we haven't been able to do a whole lot. Many at the destination travel from farther locations, including Illinois and Tennessee. It's been terrific because most things down here are pretty open. It's close to normal as you possibly can get. Illinois is still pretty much locked down. Despite the steady current of boats, some docks are instituting their own precautions, said Kylie Howard, a dock manager from Paradise Restaurant and Bar. Howard said that they're not allowing many customers to mingle on the dock, lowering foot traffic. They're also trying to get boats full of gas, efficiently keeping the docks relatively open. While many are relaxing on vacation, for the most part, people are still following social distancing and limiting contact with others. Hannah Nassar from Nashville said they bought all their food from grocery stores and don't plan to go in many bars or restaurants. Okay, that's another way you could possibly limit your contact with other people. Again, you don't need a goddamn government order to tell you to do this. Why am I saying this? Am I the only libertarian in the world left stating this obvious fact? It's definitely nice to get out of the house, Asher said. Good change of scenery. We're not really going to out restaurants or anything like that. Still, it's nice to do something a little bit different, be in the sunshine. Again, doctors have stated being out in fresh air and sunlight actually help decrease infection rates of really anything. Because if you look back at New York right now, all those unfortunate souls, pensioners and retirees in old folks' homes, died because they were locked down because Andrew Cuomo forced freaking COVID patients back into those you know what? And then he had the absolute balls to blame Donald Trump for this. Amazing. Democrats not taking personal responsibility. Nick Topping from Chicago said he comes down to common sense. He also pointed out how being on a boat makes it easier to stay apart from each other, like I've been saying, compared to mingling in a park. Once on land, Topping said he brought masks for the weekend. Okay. Obviously, seeing family and friends, that's the number one thing, staying safe. Being able to come down here where it's nice, little vacation, it minimizes as much contact as possible. Get the boat around, get some sun. It's like people already know this. They don't need to be told by an authoritative force to do the right thing. Imagine that. While normal is nice. Drew Hannock said it's strange seeing so many people out at the same time again. He said he spent past few months only interacting with a few people. So Yanesik said seeing crowds and strangers has been strange but pleasant change of pace. It's perfect, especially with everything going on. It's nice to get out on Memorial Day weekend, see friends, hang out with people, see crowds. It's kind of weird, too, at the same time. In a way, you're not used to it. Well, let's end this day 71 on this. It's good to get out. I'm not going to say intermingle with people because I'm not an authoritative force. But I'm saying get out in your backyard. I don't know, fire the grill up. Cook some chicken or, I don't know, some soy burgers for you landlocked vegetarians. Again, it's best to get sunlight, fresh air. Take a walk. If you're in one of those states that allow that kind of activity. See you tomorrow.